Three, two, one.
Welcome to the Sports Junkie Lounge. Dive into the world of sports with stories, debates, and all the action you crave. Your hosts, Chacha, D-Lo, and the rest of the Run It Back crew are here to fuel your sports addiction. Now let's get it poppin'.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Sports Junkie Lounge. We're here with Chacha. What's going on, man?
What's happening, man? The Raiders still suck.
Man, but I'm just glad back to doing it. We had a few weeks off. So
I'm glad to get back in it.
Yes, sir. So this is the episode that we are recording before Thanksgiving. And so first I'm going to ask you, man, who do you think is going to be the outcomes of the Thanksgiving Day? We got the Packers and the Lions, the Chiefs and the Cowboys, and the Bengals and the Ravens.
I'll take Detroit over Green Bay.
Okay.
I do not want to see Kansas City win. I'm not going to go with my emotions though. Gosh,
I know that's a hard one for me to pick because I don't want to see the Cowboys win, but at the same time I don't want to see Kansas City win.
I definitely don't want to see Kansas City win. I can stand to see. I don't want neither one of them to make the playoffs.
Right.
I definitely don't want Kansas City to make the playoffs. But Dallas, they so up and down. They won 2 straight. They came back on the Eagles. The Eagles laid down for them though.
Yeah.
They made some terrible mistakes. Dallas I don't think Dallas's defense is going to be able to sustain against Kansas City.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give Kansas City the nod, but if Dallas wins, I'm okay with that. I don't want Kansas City to win, but I'm gonna have to go with them. The Ravens. I think it's the Ravens and the Bengals.
Yes.
I think Joe Burrow's coming back.
Is he?
Yeah.
See, I hadn't heard anything about that.
Yeah, he was. They thought he might come back. They thought he might come back last game, but they kept him on IR. But yeah, he's supposed to be starting. So.
Okay. So that gives you Joe Burrow and Flacco.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to call him Falco.
Right.
This ain't the replacements.
I'm gonna have to go with. And the Ravens are on the road.
No, they're at home actually.
Oh,
yeah, it's the Bengals on the road.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go with the Ravens at home. I'm gonna have to go with them. The Bengals defense is suspect. They meet again on December the 14th in Cincinnati.
Really?
Real quick.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give the night game to the Ravens at home. So the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Lions.
See, I'm gonna go with the Packers. Lions have been kind of iffy with me here lately. And then I'm actually gonna with the Cowboys being at home and being on Thanksgiving, I'm gonna give it to the Cowboys.
Okay.
And then I'm with you on the Ravens. Since they're at home, I'll give it to the Ravens. The Bengals have done too much. Have had too many injuries. I think they had a couple injuries during the last game. In the last game they had on Sunday.
I didn't get a chance. I didn't really see it.
Yeah.
Their defense is not good.
Yeah.
Their defense is not good.
Other than that, so we got that out the way. What you got for us, man? What's the standings look like?
So let's start with the AFC East.
Okay.
The surprise coming out of the AFC East. You have the Patriots, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Jets. Guess who's in first place in that division? Take a guess between the Patriots, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Jets.
I'm gonna say the Dolphins. No. Wait. The Patriots?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're 10-2.
I was actually when you said when I was thinking of the Dolphins, I actually was thinking of the Jaguars. So I was like, I don't know why, but yeah. That's what was going through my mind.
So they're in first place. They've only lost 2, and the ironic thing about that is their first loss of the season was to the Raiders. That's the Raiders, one of their only 2. But we got them early. I think they played better than us, but they had turnovers, some key turnovers. But they've since fixed that, and they're 10-2.
Oh.
And the Bills are 7-4, so they've got a nice little lead with five games left to play.
Okay.
So they haven't had their bye week yet. They haven't because the Bills are 7-4, so they still got a bye week.
Who, the Patriots?
Yeah, with them being 10-2 and the Bills being 7-4. The Dolphins when you said the Dolphins, I was like, nah, they only won 4 games.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I was going through my mind of like four the teams, and it was Jeffersonville that popped.
They're 4-7, and the Jets are 2-9, and then you have the AFC North with the Ravens, the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Browns. And so the Ravens are actually in first place again. They've gotten healthy. They're actually 6-5. They're tied with the Steelers at 6-5, but they have the tiebreaker. They have the tiebreaker. They are 2-0 in the division, and the Steelers are 2-1. So they have the tiebreaker because they've got a better division record.
Right.
And then the Bengals and the Browns are out of it. They're both 3-8. Browns beating the Raiders with Shador started. That was what the world's been waiting for various reasons. There are some that out there that want him to fail. That there's some out there that's rooting for him. A lot of rooting for him. But,
I hope he does. I hope he does better than what people are expecting him to do.
They just, it's a lot of hate to me. There's a lot of hate out there.
Right.
He did good. His stats were great, but you have some say he was in a weak conference, but. You got teams like Arizona State that almost made it to the Final Four of the NCAA championship in football, and then they've got some ranked squads in there, man. BYU, so I think he's going to start again. And then you have the AFC South. The Colts are in first place at 8-3. They should have beaten Kansas City. They laid down for them. They lost to Kansas City, but they're 8-3. That Daniel Jones has been the surprise of the NFL with the Colts. So they've only lost 3, and the Jaguars are right behind them at 7-4. The Texans are 6-5. So that's still up for grabs. And then you have the Broncos in the AFC West at 9-2. And the Chargers are 7-4, and the Chiefs are 6-5, and we're 2-9. So the Broncos are looking good.
Yeah.
We just want to win. The Raiders just, gosh, they fired Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator. Thank God.
Did they?
Finally.
I know you was talking about it.
He had to go after that horrible showing against the Cleveland Browns, man. I mean,
Damn.
Geno got sacked 10 times, but a lot of that's on Geno, man. He's at the line. You need to change the play, man. It's just the offensive line can't block. And then I found out that Pete Carroll's son, the head coach's son, is the offensive line coach. He's next. He's got to be next. I mean, they're horrible.
Let me ask you a question. Is there any quarterback coming that's going to be going into the draft this year that you're going to be looking at seeing if they want to get?
There's a few. You have the Indiana Hoosiers quarterback. He's one of the Heisman candidates. You have him. You have the Oklahoma quarterback. There's a few those are the two that first come to mind.
Now is it more for them like running the ball or passing the ball or just overall play or overall play?
They are both. They both can run, and they're very accurate passers, and they
good play callers or whatever.
Yeah, they don't make a lot of mistakes.
Okay.
The Indiana's undefeated, so then I think you're looking at the Ohio State quarterback. I don't know about him. I don't know if he's a freshman. There's a few out there. Padilla for
I was actually thinking when I was watching the UK and Vanderbilt game, I actually was thinking, I was like, I think he might be a good quarterback for the Raiders.
Yeah, he's coming out. He might be undersized though. I don't know, but he's dynamic. So, there's a few out there that we could look at. We need a new quarterback. Then we have now let's move on to the NFC.
Yes, sir.
So the NFC East, the Eagles at 8-3, the Cowboys at 5-5. So the Eagles haven't had their bye week yet either. Right. So they're 8 and the Cowboys beat them last weekend, but tricked my money off on FanDuel.
I know, right?
That game right there, yeah. I mean, it was a little small bet. I mixed a little NBA with the NFL.
I actually did too, because I lost my first bet during the day. So
yeah. So the Eagles stand alone in that division, and then the Cowboys are 5-5, and then the Commanders are 3-8. They've just been rattled with injuries, and then the Giants are probably one of the best 2-10 teams out there. Jackson Dart can't stay upright. He's got to learn how to slide. He's been in concussion protocol, and then they brought in Jameis Winston, and he looked good. That they had Detroit on the ropes. They had Detroit on the ropes for the whole game, and they lost it at the end. And that's the difference between a winning team and a team that's trying to learn how to win. You got to seal the deal, and they wouldn't. And Jameis he did his thing.
Right.
Then you have the NFC North. Surprisingly, the Bears are 8-3. The Packers are right behind them at 7-3. So the Bears haven't had their bye week either. And then the Lions are in third at 7-4. So they haven't had their bye week either. And then the Vikings are 4-7. So the Bears, though, they surprisingly, Caleb Williams, he's winning in the fourth quarter. I don't think it's sustainable, but he's been pulling it off.
That's another one that's been killing my parlays.
I know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it, American. That's what we do it with.
Yeah. And then you have the NFC South. This one is a tight race. The winner that comes out of this division could actually have a losing record. But the Buccaneers are at 6-5 with Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
And then Buck Faker.
I can't do it.
Buck Faker, that's what I call him. Go ahead, man. Buck Faker Mayfield. But then you have the Panthers at 6-6. Bryce Young, he's coming along.
Yeah.
He's gotten some surprising wins. It's at 6-6. They're at 500. So they're right there. And I don't think neither one of these teams will make the playoffs as a wild card. It's just to win the division or nothing. Because,
right. And
the reason why I say that is because of this division I'm coming up with, the NFC West. You have the Rams at 9-2, Seattle at 8-3, 49ers at 8-4, and then the Cardinals at 3-8. And so you've got this division. I think all three of those teams could get in it. I mean, if they continue to win like they are, all three of them will get in, and then you'll just have a division winner out of the North, and then the division winner out of the East. So a lot has to happen. Some L's have to happen, but I don't see more than one team coming out of the East, the North, or the South. I think they'll have three teams coming out of the West, and so that's my And I think the Rams will come out on top. Matthew Stafford, he's found the fountain of youth. He's got an offense around him and a defense, and so he's got a running back. So yeah, he's regained that form, that Super Bowl form that got him the Super Bowl. Is one and only when he first got to the Rams, and he's staying healthy. So yeah, that's my that's the standings for the NFL.
Yeah. And I know we had the Disney and the Disney and the YouTube TV dispute that went on for a little bit.
Issues,
It kind of caught me off a couple games I didn't get to see. So
yeah, because we didn't get to watch games on ESPN or like the Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
And let's see. So we couldn't watch anything on. So basically, America, and you're probably well aware, YouTube TV was in a contract dispute. Disney wanted more money, and YouTube was holding firm because they wanted to raise the price, which meant that the price for the customer was going to go up, and they didn't want that.
And they just recently raised it, like not too long ago on YouTube TV.
Yeah. So yeah, that we wasn't able to watch a lot of college basketball or college football or pro because the affiliates of Disney, which is ESPN, SEC Network.
I think the ACC. I think the only one that wasn't affected by it was the Big Ten. No, the Big Ten. Big Ten was affected. It was ACC that wasn't affected.
Right, Fox wasn't affected. Oh, right. So, but we got to watch college football on Fox, which was the Big Ten. Colorado and all of them.
Yeah.
And maybe the Big Ten. But yeah, so it was a lot. But we back in it now, and yeah. We back in it.
Yeah. Right now we got the Kentucky-Tennessee Tech game going on right now.
Yeah, UK starting to pull ahead in the first half. Let's get into some UK basketball. We've taken 2 L's. We didn't get to talk about the Louisville game nor the Michigan State game. So There's been some rumors circulating about the cohesiveness of the team because there was some in-house arguing between a couple of players and from a couple of people that I work for the University of Kentucky healthcare, and a couple of these co-workers of mine on two different occasions said it was over a female. I'm not going to name the players involved. Because it's just a rumor. It's just a rumor mill. But a lot of times when you hear it from 2 different people that have sources that work on campus, it's hard not to follow that. So that was the thing. But the Louisville game, and these young players, they have to learn that when you wear UK on the front of your jersey, they're going to bring your opponents are going to bring their A game. It doesn't matter who it is. They're going to bring their A game. And Louisville came out and shot the lights out from 3. Mm-hmm. And, they got up on us by 20. We made a run, though.
But, I mean, yeah, at the end. But if they would have kept going into the paint on them, I don't think they could have held us.
Well, they couldn't defend the 3. And then they had some horrible turnovers. But even when they came back late, they missed 2 front end of 1-and-1s that could have cut it to single digits.
Yeah, definitely.
And that made a difference. You gotta when you and I'm not saying they shot bad, but they had some bad turnovers in the end. They looked out of sorts. They didn't have a leader out there to calm them down and what have you. And like I said, I got to give Louisville the credit for how they shot. In
honestly,
the game.
I think that's kind of what they're dealing with is they need to find that leader. They need to find that identity that this team needs to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the one thing, yes, perimeter defense is major, especially in a pace and space game today. And also speaking on pace and space, it also, because I mean, any of these cats, they can beat anybody off the dribble. And if you can beat somebody off the dribble, you can get any points in the paint you want. And if you have somebody on the block, that their big man's going to go over and try to defend you, so you can dump it off to do on the block, and he can get easy too.
They're gonna get help, and that. And so I mean, and they had a few lobs in there, but so Moreno, the freshman, he was Mr. Kentucky, Mr. Basketball. I like him.
I think he's got a lot of growing to do still.
He's a good rebounder. His offense is not bad. They can't play with their back to the basket, and then the entry passes are not very good, and then Garrison, he hasn't improved. To me, he hasn't improved. I need to see more from him.
I don't think he's not aggressive and strong enough, I think. And that's my opinion. Like, when he's down there, it's very light. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's going up with force. It's not like, and like I said, on a pace and space, if you beat the other guy to the basket, go ahead and take it up with force.
Yeah, and I think I think it's in him. I think he can. It's just not in him. He's because he showed it last year, as far as hitting the boards and all of that. He can maintain his position, but he's got to stay out of foul trouble. But when he gets that offensive rebound, or when they do dump it down to him, it's not, it doesn't look good. It doesn't.
And that's another thing too that I can't stand is it seems like they're not, like, nobody's blocking out. There was a lot of, especially during the Michigan game and the Louisville game, there was a lot of offensive rebounds that they could have got, but they just didn't box out.
Yeah, and they didn't play with energy. They a lot of 50-50 balls. See, Garrison just tricked off one right there.
See, you looking at it, I ain't.
Yeah, I was just having a glance. They got a steal, and they dumped it down to him, and he was right there. And I don't know, like you just said, he doesn't go up strong. It was a dunk, and I can't stand him, man. He's not progressing. But anyway, the Michigan State game, they didn't play with energy. They didn't. They didn't get the 50-50 balls, even when they looked like they were going to make a little run, and then they was one step too slow. And the sad thing about it is, Michigan State had only hit 13 threes the whole season. They were like averaging 4 a game. They were shooting like 31% from 3. And they shot the lights out, but they were wide open looks, and even the misses, they were right there, and so it was both halves. And Louisville did the same thing, man. They just lit us up from 3, and so it takes, like I said, this team has got to figure out that, and I'm sure Pope puts that in their head, that you're going to get every team's best, no matter who it is. That's just what it is. UK, a lot of the country, to a lot of the people in the country, UK is the standard.
Yeah, and that's a lot of things.
Most wins.
And I'm just gonna call it with this generation, because I'm not even gonna say the coach, because even in the Calipari days, and going before that, after
there was Gillespie before him. We don't even talk about
we ain't. But it seemed like after the Tubby Smith era, it seemed like this generation just plays to the competition that they're against.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're out there to crush that team. They're out there. They're not out there. They don't have that killer instinct.
Yeah. And we got some key wins last year, some good wins. Duke, Gonzaga, we got some good wins last year.
Yeah. We went to the Sweet 16 when nobody thought we was going to.
Yeah, we've got 22 wins, and I think we'll be able to surpass that this year. But the SEC has been looking good. I've been looking at them in these preseason tournaments. Tennessee just upset Houston. Houston is number 3 in the country.
Yeah.
They upset them last night. But yeah, man, I think that once they get that in them, and they play with just step up their energy just a little bit. But it's a difference between playing out of control and playing with intensity, because when you play intense and out of control, then you're in foul trouble. Owe hasn't stepped up. You know, I expected more. He was preseason player of the year.
I definitely expected him to step
player
up.
of the year, like I said, he looks troubled out there. But and his 3-point shot is horrible. It's a terrible. It's I don't know who taught him how to shoot it like that, but it's a more of a set shot. He takes like a whole wave through his body from his legs.
I've noticed he goes like all the way down and then he like waves it up.
Yeah,
I don't understand that shot. I don't.
I've never seen nothing like it, anything ever. And I've seen some weird shots. I mean, remember we had Wayne Turner. He shot from the hip. He shot it from the hip side on. Oh my gosh, it fell though, but yeah, go through my Rick Roll. But whoa.
Man.
But we got after tonight with Tennessee Tech, we got a nice little gauntlet. We got North Carolina on Wednesday. It's the 3rd, I believe, or it's either Wednesday night. I believe it's Wednesday night. It's a late game. It's a 9:30 game. We have them. So I'm thinking it's the 2nd, because then we turn around and play North Carolina on the 5th.
Yeah, North Carolina's on the 2nd, and then Gonzaga's on the 5th.
I mean, Gonzaga, yeah. We got Gonzaga on the 5th. Yeah. So back to back. And then who's after Gonzaga?
Then it's North Carolina Central.
Yeah, we need a break.
And then
we got St. John's coming up too.
Well, then that's what I was gonna say. We have Indiana,
yeah,
and then we have St. John's.
So we got to get it together. We got to get it together. We gotta, cause
and then we get one more break before we get into SEC play.
Yeah,
and that right there, like you said, I mean, SEC stepped up their game in college basketball of late. You know.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a long road. I mean, even Arkansas is 22. You know,
Tennessee is 17, but they're sure to rise after beating Houston. They're playing Kansas right now. They're beating Kansas. So, but Kansas is not the Kansas of the past. Vanderbilt's 24th in the country. Look at that, man. You know, so. Look at the, I'm looking at this bottom line and seeing all of these teams, and
it's,
they there's a lot of ranked schools in the SEC, and they all are good. I mean, Alabama just took a L to Gonzaga, but it was down to the wire.
I mean, even St. John's, Rick Pitino's doing what he's doing. I mean, they're 14.
Yeah, but they've had a couple of losses. They lost the other night to Iowa State, but their defense is steady. It's their offense. Their offense is they go in on droughts. So we can get them, but we've got to against Rick Pitino's St. John squad. We've got to not turn over the ball, and we've got to play defense, because when they make shots is when they're able to set up their full court press, and it's a beast. It's a beast.
My thing is on Rick Pitino, and this is just watching him, throughout the whole years, ever since he was with Kentucky, was you just never count the man out. You just don't.
No, he's a great coach. He's a great coach.
Yeah, so
he's a great coach. Even when he went to when he went away from Louisville for a little bit, went and coached overseas. I think he coached Greece or something like that, and came back and ended up coaching Iona. They were a good squad, and then he got the job at St. John's, and now he's brought them back to prominence. And I was saying it when he first got there. I was telling my boy, I was like, "Hey man, look out for St. John's, man." And he finally caught up to him last year, and he was like, "Man, you said it, yeah, man." Because year before last, they didn't make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
and he turned down the NIT, which I never agree with that, because I think it's not about you, it's about the players. Let them go on and continue on their season, because a lot of that for them is NBA scouts taking a look at them.
Mm-hmm.
And so a couple of years ago he turned down the NIT, and they should have got in, they should have got in. There's no doubt about it. They had over 20 wins, and they had some good wins, and they didn't get in. But last year, they did their thing, and he came back and was like, okay, we just got to do our thing. And so now he's got a couple of early losses, but they're against good teams. They're against good teams, so it's going to be interesting. We got our work cut out for us. This next 2 weeks for the University of Kentucky men's basketball team is going to be a good test for us. A good test for us going into the SEC.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be because like you said, I cannot see Mark Pope not telling these guys like this is what it is. This is what y'all need to do. Keep drilling in their heads, I can't see that he's not doing that. You know what I mean? Like
he's a player's coach to me, and I think he's got to get rough, rugged, and raw with him sometimes. Sometimes you got to stomp on that sideline like Cal and like Pitino used to do. And
I know. I really want to see the Pitino come out of him.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. They say he'll do it in the locker room going into halftime because one game they was like they hadn't seen him go, but yeah. That I'm Mr. Nice Guy. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
that's not gonna cut it, man.
I remember seeing Rick Pitino throwing the clipboard across.
Rick go off on the refs. He go off on everybody.
I remember seeing him throwing chairs.
Yeah, man. And Pope needs to. I think he needs that. With this era of basketball, I'm not gonna call the players sensitive, but you know your team, and so. Sometimes, you just, you know who to pull to the side and get in their ass.
Yeah.
And who to coddle a little bit. Owe, I think he needs to get in his ear. I think Owe can take it. He's been here. He came back. He got the NIL money. Now get out there and do like you did last year. Play for the school. For the school, because if you're trying to play to get into the league, you're doing a horrible job of that as well.
Right.
So, something's got to give, but we got to turn to, he's got to be that dude. And he's not, he's not a point guard. Then we got this point guard low. Once again, we got another point guard with a shoulder problem. Like, where are we getting? Is it something in the Kentucky water? What is it?
Is he from Kentucky?
Nah.
I was just saying. It's just something with these point guards today. Their shoulders just be out of whack.
And he's a good point guard. He kept us in it against Louisville.
Yeah,
he's one that missed those key free the front end of the 1-on-1 though. He's one of them that did that. So he's a southpaw. There are always problems.
Yeah,
but he's a nice point guard. We need him between him and Aberdeen. That's a good 1-2 combination. I'll look forward to it.
And then we still have what's their names? The so-called two best players out, or two best shooters out.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then I think they're supposed to be making their return here soon.
That'll be good. Yeah,
I think that'll open up a lot of people because the thing my problem is a lot of people was giving Pope a lot of flack for these past 6 games, and I'm just like, dude, it's just 6 games in, we don't
have our full roster.
Yeah, we don't have our full roster. Like, it just like, things got to happen. Right. And I do see with them two coming back, they may be a little rusty. But I think we'll be in it once they get back.
They'll be just what we need for
right.
real going into the SEC for real. SEC is rough.
Yeah.
Rough. And then you got Texas, Ole Miss, and So I would like to close this out talking about UK football's final game of the season.
The Louisville game.
Yeah. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because if UK wins, they're bowl eligible, and it would be nice to knock off Louisville to be bowl eligible. It would be nice.
It would be nice. Me personally, and and I hate to say this because it is UK and it is my Cats.
I know what you're going to say. Let's spit it out, man.
I don't want them to win it
Because you don't want you don't want Stoops to come back.
Right.
I get it.
Right. I think that's going to be the nail in the coffin. Not being bowl eligible for 2 years, I think that might be the nail in the coffin for it. And I can't deal with this because it seems like he just enough to keep his job. And I just we ain't trying to do that. We trying to be competitive.
Yeah, you got these other schools. Look at Texas A&M. Look at Vanderbilt. Look at where South Carolina is. I mean, and they fell off, but even they started the season ranked in the top 20. They were like 15. They've beaten us 3-4 years in a row now, and it's just and Vanderbilt is they taking it to us. I mean, it's just we're bottom feeders, and we got a couple of good wins. Auburn, Auburn, and we won like 3 in a row. Auburn, Florida shocked me. That not the win, but how bad we beat them.
Yeah.
They fired their coach too.
I know, and that's sad that we become the team that they just
we've come to Vanderbilt. We've come to Vanderbilt of the SEC.
We become the team that other teams decide to fire their head coach off of.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think he might have got fired before that game. If not, it was. I'm almost.
I mean,
certain.
I know definitely Auburn coach got fired after their loss.
They offense, their defense is decent, but their offense is they can't score no points either. And that's Auburn. Yeah, they need to get back. The nation needs Auburn. Auburn is one of those traditional teams that in the preseason before you get into conference play, like marquee matchups, Auburn versus. Yeah. Penn State or whomever.
Yeah.
They were at one time they were good enough to get those type of preseason games, kind of like Alabama going against Texas before Texas got into the SEC or
same thing like Georgia.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that was the 4 most leading teams in the SEC. It was Georgia, Alabama, Auburn, and LSU.
Yeah, and then you had Florida as well, but Tennessee, because those 3 would battle it out. Tennessee, Florida, and Georgia.
Right.
Those are the 3 teams that would battle it out in the SEC East when it was East-West. But then, like I said, you had LSU. I mean, it's just been the other teams that we discussed. Auburn is just that one team. Like I said, you got out of the West, you have, LSU. That's a household name.
Mm-hmm.
They in the preseason, they play Florida State. In early in the season. In the West, like I said, LSU, Alabama, and then there's Auburn, and then you throw Arkansas in there, and they fired their coach. They can score with anybody. Their defense is just horrible. Yeah. They just can't sustain the lead. But so you had Auburn, LSU, and Alabama on one side, and you had Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee on another side, and then you throw Ole Miss in there. They Lane Kiffin has got them on top now.
Yeah.
Alabama's gonna always be them. So they like I said, Auburn. I would like to see Auburn get back to where they used to be. Yeah. I think that's college football is kind of missing that as far as them going out. Because now you see Auburn go out and play. You're like, I might watch it because of the name, but and they just, so yeah. I'd like to see them. I'd like to see them. And another thing, they announced that Cutter's coming back.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why they might keep Stoops. So let's just go on out and win. It don't matter, because if Cutter's coming back, that might, if he's staying because of Stoops.
And is it Mitch Barnhart's? Is it the end of the football season or end of the basketball season that he's retiring?
I don't know.
I know he's supposed to.
Probably
retire.
the end of the basketball season. I can't see him retiring in the middle of UK basketball. I can't see that. So I'm thinking. My assumption has got to be the end of the basketball season.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, it's I'm ready for him to go too. All this money he's throwing away.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we can't get rid of Stoops, because Stoops got a couple of 10-win seasons, and you know that's how it is in the off season. You know, these other schools that need a coach, they'll come looking and say, "Oh, we gotta lock him in," just like the Texas A&M coach.
Mm-hmm.
That he got a heck of an extension through to 2031, and that pushed him up to, he's one of the highest paid coaches now. It's like $11 million a year.
Wow.
And they had to, because look at, they're undefeated, and they're like number 3 in the country.
Yeah.
You know, behind Ohio State and Indiana. You know, so you know but Mitch kept him in hopes of that Stoops could turn the 10-2 into a better SEC season, because even at 10-2, we were still ending up in like third or fourth place. And the thing is that, to me, that's mediocrity, because the goal is to win the SEC regular season,
right?
Win the SEC title game, and then go into the NCAA college championship series, and come out on top of that. It's not to become bowl eligible,
right?
You know, and so I just feel like that they lost sight. You know, a lot of people have lost sight of that because of, you know, being 10-2.
Yeah,
you know, and that don't matter to me. I'm glad, but if we're not competing for the SEC regular season, if we're 10-2 and we can't get past Georgia, what are we doing?
Right.
You know, if we can't beat, you know, Florida in their down year, or Tennessee in their down year, and I mean even the game this year against Tennessee, we scored over 30 points, and we hadn't done that all year. Now.
I know
we couldn't get over 14.
I know,
and give up almost 60.
I know.
Come on, man.
I know, that's the thing that was killing me, because I think I even texted you when we did that. I was like, look, they finally scored over 14 points.
We've looked bad. I mean, we've looked bad, man.
I'm laughing, but I'm really crying on the inside, y'all.
Yeah, we've looked bad, man. We've looked bad. We wasn't able to get over 14. I mean, even the win against Auburn was just 10-3.
Yeah,
or 10-7, something like that.
I got a lot of my friends, you know, because I keep telling them, like, you know, like, we can do better. We need to do better. And, you know, they're like, well, you know, Kentucky's a basketball team, not a football team. Like, why can't we be both?
Right. I mean, well, we paid Stoops all that money, so I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. You know, I don't want to hear that. That, you know, yes, we're a basketball school. Fine, but the last few years we've been getting top recruits in football. And it has amounted to zero. I mean, and what's really hurt us is this transfer portal, bringing in these quarterbacks for the last 4 years.
Damn.
I mean, you know, even the guy Calzada or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He came in for Cutter and did exactly what he did before he got hurt. The first thing he did was come in and throw an interception against Vanderbilt. You've been out all this time. Now you got opportunity to get in and possibly, you know, do a little something for us, you know, and you throw an interception. Yeah, go sit down.
And I think that that's also on like Stoops, like looking at it and recruiting on like, because where'd he come from? Georgia?
Who, Stoops?
Calzada.
No, that was the quarterback last year. That was Vander Schloff or whatever his name was. He was the one that came from Georgia. He came from, I want to say Texas A&M. I know he played at Texas A&M because he beat Alabama. Alabama. I don't know if Texas A&M was his last stop, but I know because he went to a smaller school after Texas A&M. But that was the big name school, and his stats were great. He was a winner, and he comes here and he wets the bed just like the quarterback from Georgia last year. And we keep getting these star quarterbacks and don't play them. And that's why I'm kind of glad that Cutter got his chance to get in there and do his thing.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like one of those things. Like they keep coming from like these schools that, you know, they could actually, like, you know, they done have done things. Oh yeah, Texas A&M, and then
He had some small schools after that.
Yeah.
Some Texas schools. He went home or something. He was from Texas.
So it's one of those things. Like, well, you got to think of why they let them go in the first place. Why they wasn't willing to keep them.
Yeah, and then you had like I said, you had the guy from Georgia, Vandergriff, and then after that, before that, you had O'Leary from North Carolina State.
Yeah,
he might be in the league now. He might be in the NFL, but he was just inconsistent. You know, we brought him in, and I thought he was going to be great because I seen what he did at North Carolina State. And then before that, Will Levis. I couldn't stand him. I could not stand Will Levis.
I know you couldn't stand.
Will Levis was here for 2 years though, and then last year he set out the bowl game. You know, for the trying to get prepared for the draft, and we end up losing to Iowa. Him and Chris Rodriguez set out.
I thought that was crap too.
That'd be hurting my heart when that happened. But he was projected. He listened to all that trash. He was projected to be this and that, one of the top quarterbacks to go, and he went in the second round. I haven't watched the NFL draft, the whole first round ever. Now, and I watched it this time just to see where he would get. And he missed that whole. He was in the green room. Oh boy, I know. And then the Titans get him, and now he's on the bench. They brought in Cam Ward. He had 2 years to get it together, and they made him the starter last year, and he could not get it done. And he's got a rocket for an arm. He's a great athlete, but he does not have touch. He just does not.
Yeah.
And he could still be great. He could still be great, but like I said. So my point is bringing in these quarterbacks from the transfer portal has not worked out for us. It just hasn't.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it too. This is the one thing that I was always proud on the basketball team, or just anybody. Like you can't get more passionate people to play for the name on the front of the jersey than people that are from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I'm happy about Cutter. Yeah.
And and that's why I had hope for Cutter. Like, I just think in a different system, I think he would do better. Mm-hmm. I just think Stoops, his system is too predictable.
Very.
And teams already know that. Like, you really don't really have to watch any film over it because you already know what he's gonna do. But you can see the lineup, or you can see hand signals that he does, and it's like, oh, he's doing that. And one thing, and it always makes me mad, that we can get 1 yard away from the fourth down, and he does not go for it. Like, why? Take the chance. Like, have faith in your team to get over that.
I mean, and the thing about the 4th and 1, it might have been 3rd and 1, and it'd be just the stupidest play. Like, it'd be 3rd and 1 and end up being 4th and 3. Like, why would you run that?
Yeah.
They putting the 8 in the box. They know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the play calling is just, and I don't even know if he calls the offensive plays. I don't know. They got an offensive coordinator.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's got to get with his offensive coordinator to make sure that the repetitive of it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? You have to be like, as the head coach, you're supposed to be the leader of your coaches to figure out what game plans they're wanting to do and where the game plans lie within the games. You know what I mean? So I think he does have a lot to deal with it. And what was that one coach? Actually, I think it was the Lions coach, the Detroit Lions. He was like, I'm taking over offense. You know what I mean? So if you have to get to that point, get to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think because that's the one thing with Kentucky football is you either get games that the defense, you get a lot of more games that the defensive team is handling, but then you get some games that where the defensive team gets tired. And I think that's what it is. It's not that they're not showing up; they get tired.
Yeah, because the offense can't stay on the field.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that leads me to believe that it's the offense. And if you can't deal with your offensive coach, then you got to find a new one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the whole predictability and he just sees that as, you know, it is what it is. We're doing fine. We're not doing fine. You know.
Yeah.
So that's where I lie with that.
So I want us to beat Louisville because it's Louisville. I know what you said, but you know, I'll take the win. I mean, I feel like they're not going to get rid of Stoops. So, especially with Cutter coming back, I hope they still get rid of him. I don't care if we get to a bowl game and then win the bowl game. I still think that Stoops needs to go. You know, but then we'll mess around and be 7-6.
Yeah.
You know, 2 wins in the SEC. You know the smoke screen. That's what the total record will be the smoke screen.
Yeah.
The overall record, but we sucked in the conference.
Well, and that's why I said it hurts my heart of hearts, because in my heart of hearts, I want Kentucky to win all the time, no matter what it is. It could be piddly-winks, and I still want them to win. You know what I mean? It could be the most Monday game ever in the sport, in any game of history, and I want them to win.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the catalyst that he just needs to go, and I felt like that since when they lost Calipari and they lost the head coach of the girls. I figured that was going to be the perfect time for them to no, it wasn't Mitchell. Mitchell was already out at the time.
3, 2, 1.
For the win. Oh, you talking about this last season?
Yeah.
The female. It was a female.
Yeah.
I forget her name.
When they revamped those two teams, I thought they was going to revamp the whole thing, and I thought they was going to get rid of Stoops. And when they didn't, and they kept Stoops, I was like, that was the perfect time to revamp everything. You know, go ahead and get a couple years under your belt. You know, figure out what you're going to do with the team. You know, I still think Pope has a lot of work to do, but I still think he's good for Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
The women's coach, I think he's good for Kentucky.
Oh yeah, he's bringing in players. And they're going to be way more competitive, and they were one shot away from winning, getting to the Elite Eight last season. I think they got beat by a last-second shot.
So I think that would have been perfect time to just revamp the whole sports. You know, besides like the volleyball and baseball, because we actually are competitive in those two.
Volleyball, the women, I think, won another championship.
Yeah, they beat. So, and then I think even the baseball teams actually, they're competitive.
Oh yeah,
you know,
they get into the college. Yeah, they just can't get over that hump, man. But baseball is
So it's just one of the things that football is just one of those things it's the hump that we have to get over. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one of those things of, well, we're a basketball school or a football school, you know, whatever. No, the name of the front of the jersey can bring players in.
That's what I always say. Yeah.
You know, no matter what sport it is, you want to play for Kentucky because Kentucky's going to get you where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But you just gotta be passionate about the name on the front instead of the name on the back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And with that being said, I think we good to close it out.
Yeah. Good stuff.
You know, this is D-Lo.
Cha-Cha, he's always in the building. Yeah.
With that being said, we out. Peace.
Deuces.